Hi, Jassim. Thank you for taking the time to help me today. My name is Michelle, and I am one of the developers of the application called Repo Scout. So today we're going to have you try out our website application, and the session will take around 40 minutes. So before we start, I'm going to go over a few things. So for during this interview, we're testing the application. We're not testing you. There's no wrong answers, and there's no wrong actions. If something is confusing or frustrating, and that's just information about the design, it doesn't say anything about you. During this time, please try to think out loud. As you work through each task, tell us what you're thinking, what you expect to happen, and what you notice. Even small reactions like "I'm not sure what to click" are very helpful. It's okay to get stuck. If you can figure something out, just tell us or tell me what's going through your mind, and you can move on to the next task at any time. And you can also leave at any time. Your participation is completely voluntary. And try to think like a developer who, is interested in getting started with an open source contribution, but doesn't have a structured way to do it yet. And I'll explain what I mean by an open source contribution in a minute. We'd like to record your screen and audio so we can review the session later. The recording is only for our team and the professor. It won't be shared publicly. Is that okay with you? Okay. Do you have any questions before we start?
Ready?
Okay. So I'll start with some background/demographic questions. You may decline to answer these questions. So what is your current role right now? Like a student, full-time developer, anything else?
I'm a student
What are you studying?
studying computer science.
Okay. How many years of programming experience do you have?
A degree in 4 or 5.
Sorry, what was that?
I'd say around 4 or 5 years.
4 to 5 years? Okay. Um, and which programming languages are you most comfortable with?
I'd say Python and TypeScript.
TypeScript? Okay. Have you ever contributed to an open source project before?
Not at all.
Nope. Okay. Um, how often do you browse GitHub for new projects or issues, or do you use GitHub for something else instead?
I'll occasionally browse GitHub, like maybe once a month, just
Once a
randomly.
month? And
Yeah,
when you use GitHub, is it mainly for your personal projects, academic projects, or to kind of look for an open source project?
it's mainly for my personal academic projects.
Okay.
And like once a month, I'll browse for like see what's new.
Okay. And right now, or in general, when you, as a developer, what devices do you use? Maybe a desktop, a laptop, something else?
I use a desktop and a laptop.
Okay. Okay. So I will start with some tasks for you to do so you get to interact with the application. So let's say that imagine that you are a developer who primarily works with Python and JavaScript, and you're interested in web development, and you consider yourself an intermediate level developer. Go ahead and create an account and set up your profile with this information. So again, if you see anything of interest, let me know.
So immediately I noticed the create account. So when you said to create an account, I figured that's what I should click at. And
Okay.
now it says my first name, last name, GitHub. So we'll fill these out to make my account. So, okay. I like that the skills are the same way that I see on some people's GitHubs. So
Okay.
it's nice and intuitive. Um, Python frameworks, I'll say React, Tailwind, Fast API, JWT. Databases, I'll say MySQL, Oh, I see that I can also skip these later. So
Okay.
I'm gonna just change it.
Okay. Before we move on, for what you just did, what did you have any hesitations or any confusions or anything that came across while you were creating your profile?
Uh, Everything seemed like intuitive. Um, like my eyes were like drawn to like where I needed to go.
Okay. Um, and let's see. Can you go to the profile tab? Okay. Can you kind of walk me with through what you understand with this page? Anything that maybe is of your interest or anything like that?
So you see that it's showing that my profile and the skills and languages and database management tools that I just added when I created my profile. I
Okay.
see that it has my GitHub username, name, you can add a profile picture with all these, and you can edit any of this information as well, including the skills with these buttons, which seems to be like the classic
Okay.
icon to edit stuff. And once I can made my changes, I can save it, or I can delete my profile altogether.
Okay.
I can also open my dashboard over here with this button. And that's all I see here.
All right. Sounds good. So pretty, again, pretty intuitive, pretty clear. Okay. All right. If you go back to the homepage, now I want to kind of get you familiarized with the application. I'll give you tasks later on, but right now, just I guess I want to see if you kind of understand what like the application is doing. Maybe go to different tabs. Don't try to add or edit anything yet. Just
Okay,
so that you understand what the application is for.
so what is my task right now? Sorry.
Yeah, just browse through the tabs and everything through
Okay,
the pages. Don't add anything yet. Just try to get like I would like for you to tell me what you think the application does.
so it seems like it's taking the topmost like GitHub repos that match with the skills and like frameworks that I've added, which is
Mm-hmm.
pretty nice. Especially recognize ChatCM, which I've used before,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps see like the amount of stars and the shares and forks over here, so I can see like which is the most popular. And by just glancing at it, it seems to be sorted by popularity. I see here that I
Okay.
can filter it with like a specific language, and I can
Okay.
like search as well. So I can
Okay.
try searching for CM.
Yeah. Okay.
And I do see Shad up top over there. So I guess the search is working.
I see. Okay.
Um,
Um.
yeah,
So from this Explore repositories, I'm guessing you're understanding, or yeah, you're understanding that you're getting matched to the tech stack that you. Okay. What if you go to the matches page? Is there maybe that you see here, is there maybe a confusion between what you see in the homepage and the matches page? Do you think maybe it's repetitive?
um, this seems, oh, it's giving a match score over here. Okay, so I think this is like the projects that are most relevant to me. So
Okay.
homepage was most popular, and this is most relevant to my skills. So
Okay.
that's also pretty helpful. I see fast API, which I've used here before. So it seems like this is working as expected. I'm guessing the match score is based on like how relevant it is to me, and it's sorted
Okay.
by the ones that's most relevant to 11, and then going down to 10 and so on. So that's pretty cool as well.
Okay.
I can search
Um,
here as well.
Try clicking around, for example, the view or the track buttons and kind of walk me with what you think they do.
I'm guessing this will take me to the GitHub repo. So
Okay.
let's click on view. It takes me to Fast API repo. is pretty nice. Close this time. And that, I'm not sure what it does, but I'm guessing I should add it right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Okay. I guess the last page that we have to visit is the dashboard page. So if you so
I
what do you
see.
think happens here?
So I this is like my saved repositories page where any repositories that are tracked on this website show up over here. So it's kind of like I'm adding them to my favorites. If I add this, this, and this, and maybe go to the dashboard, I can see all the repos that I've tracked before, which is nice if I want to keep up to date with like a few specific repos. I can go here and then click on the new and I can directly go to those repos on GitHub itself.
Okay.
It also
Um
explains over here that I can, if I don't have any over here, I should explore some, check my matches, and add them, I'll track them so they'll show up here.
okay. So overall, what do you think the purpose of the now that you've had some interactions with the app, what do you think the purpose of repo stack is?
So the purpose seems to be to basically create a curated list of some of your favorite repositories. And in order to help you do that, uh, it also helps you explore like new repositories that you might be interested in. And it does that by showing you the most popular ones that match you or the most relevant ones to your current skills. So you can browse through either the home or the matches, add them to your dashboard, and then you have them all in one place at your convenience. So you can click in and keep up to date with them. And if you want to change which repos get suggested to you, you can add or remove any of the skills over here, and that should reflect the changes over here in your home images.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, now let's continue with the tasks. So now that you're familiarized, and your profile is set up, try to find some open source repositories that match your skills and interests. Browse what the app shows you, and maybe find a project that looks interesting to you.
So I'm going to, so am I tracking at this stage?
No, no, just try to like explore with what is shown to you. Maybe a repo that
Okay.
you're interested in.
So one that I'm interested in, and I'll say most popular shadow seeding. It seems that even if I click on this arrow, it'll take me to the GitHub.
If
Let's
you want,
try
you can
going.
click around while you try to find and one that's interesting to you. You can click and see in on GitHub on how it looks like.
Good. And click on shadow seeding. Yeah, I can do all the GitHub actions. I can favorite it, give it a star rating, view the repo itself. So we go back now. Let's go to branch. Oh, let's do the last.
I guess is there maybe a reason why you decided to look for repos that in the Explore repository and not on like the matches page? So I guess for example, why were you drawn to more like the popular repos instead of the ones matched to your tech stack, for example?
I was interested in like what the most popular repos were more than which were like matched me. Um, but once I like really use this website, like maybe update my skills so that they're like more accurate to me, and then I'll probably be using the matches dashboard more. So right now, yeah, these also seem pretty interesting.
Okay.
Um, TypeScript volume, start repeat. Yeah, so these all seem pretty helpful for my projects as well.
Okay.
see what this one is. Source code, looks like 20% sure. This is very cool. So I don't think I would have seen this in the popular in the home
Mm-hmm.
page, but since this matched with me so well and it was suggested to me, it's helpful that I get to see these type of projects as well. Even these are like pretty like matched with my skills, it seems.
Okay.
Shall I continue logging or
Oh, yeah, just find one that you like as of the moment that you think is the most interesting that you would work in. Just if you can pick one.
this one? Seems.
Okay. All right. So, now that you found a project that interests you, um, try to now go ahead and add it to your personal tracker so you can come back to it later. Do you think it was maybe like what you just said? Do you think it was like intuitive to add it to your, like to track a repo, add it to your list? Would you say it was like a clear process?
Yeah, it was pretty clear.
Okay.
There's like a big green button that says plus in the tribe, so it seems pretty self-explanatory.
So, talk to me more about what you've like. If you've now that you clicked on the button, do you, as a user, right? Do you understand that it's like now being tracked? Do you maybe would like to have received a notification or something else?
Instead of a notification, it like the button like turned white and it has a check mark now next to the project. So that's pretty clear that it's been added to my dashboard, right? So even without the notification, I think this is like pretty clear.
Okay. Oh, okay. So now, where would you, from here, where would you see where your tracked repos are? Where would you go?
Based on what I saw before, it said that in the dashboard, when you track repos will show up there. So I will say it's on my dashboard. You see full source over here.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just taking it simultaneously. Did you maybe happen to click on the same repo twice?
I did, yes.
Okay, because I just saw that it was reflected twice on your dashboard. That's interesting. That's something worth pointing out because I think that's a bug. Okay. So, if you go back to the dashboard, now with the repo that you chose, imagine that you've been working on an issue in this repo, and then you opened a pull request on GitHub, and now you want to log the contributions that you made, here in Repo Scout. So the contributions that you just made on the repo that you chose, you want to keep track of them, and you're logging them in the account in the app. Sorry. How would you go about doing that?
So over here, it says log repo. So
Okay.
I'm assuming that once I click on this, I can log any changes in my
Okay, if you want, you can go ahead and click the button. And now that you're here, pretend that you just made some contribution, try to provide some information, try to create a log.
focus area, I'll say files created or modified, bugs fixed, fixed bug, or this and then say to
Nice. Okay,
create.
how did the process of creating a log feel? Any things to point out? Did everything make sense? Maybe some confusions or anything like that?
Okay. Yeah, it made sense. Yeah, it was pretty like intuitive again, like it flowed in the same way that I would like the log just like was like the most important like part where I didn't what I changed, what I fixed, what I learned from it. I see either that I can expand or like minimize the logs. I can edit them if I need to as well or delete them. That's what's in this. And this is like a good way to like keep track of the changes I've made.
Okay. All right. So now that you created this entry, let's say that you realize that you entered the wrong information, in the contribution that you just made. Uh, Go ahead and fix it. So I guess for now, that we'll work on the updating any errors that you might have made. Talk to me about that process, what it feels.
So I will open log change, either that I can edit it.
Okay.
So it opens up like a editable version of my log. And let's say I made a mistake in which file I fixed. So I can go change it and save it. There was no change reflected based on what I just did. But
Okay.
that makes sense.
So now let's say now that you decided to delete this entry. This entry is no longer relevant. How would you go about removing this from your log?
See which one. Like, this is the one I delete. And then click on the big red delete button and go, it's gone.
And how did deleting the log field, was there any confusion? Maybe something that you would have liked to see? Maybe even like some sort of anxiety of maybe, I don't know. Think about like you're creating continuous entries and you deleted the wrong thing. Could the application, help mitigate an accidental delete?
Yeah, that would be helpful because if I delete the wrong one, um, I would have to like, yeah, it would be nice to have like a way to get it back. But
Okay.
deleting itself felt pretty straightforward. Like I clicked delete, it disappeared. Delete was like a big red button, and it's just pretty intuitive. Yeah, everything else was great.
Okay. Okay.
I suppose even if there isn't like a way to get back what you deleted, even like a small confirmation, like, oh, are you sure you want to delete this? Even that would be like pretty easy, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now I'm gonna proceed to ask you some a little bit more challenging questions. If you wanted to see, well, actually, I'm gonna skip this one. If you were looking for your saved repos, where would you expect to find them?
That would be on my dashboard.
Okay. Their dashboard. So again, pretty straightforward, pretty intuitive. Okay. Um, can you determine how to change what repositories populate the matches page?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. Can you determine how to change what repositories appear in the matches page?
Oh, definitely. So if I need to make a change or change which repositories appear on my matches page, then all I need to do is change which skills they're being matched with, skills and languages in my profile.
Okay. Could you go ahead and do that? Let's say you wanted to change your tech stack.
Um, let's say instead of Python, I'm still done just in Java. So I made the change. I see it reflected here.
You just need one of us?
Yeah, this page.
I can do it.
Really?
Okay. Do
I
you maybe
see
see
it did.
the
What?
Yeah.
Let me finish. Give me like
I
5
forgot to
minutes.
save my
Yeah,
changes.
I'll
Yeah.
add 4 o'clock. I gotta finish that.
sorry, it wasn't saved, what you just did?
Yeah, I forgot to save my profile, which
Okay.
I see over here now. And I remember calling it out too, but I just forgot. So I will save
And
my profile.
Finals today.
Okay.
okay.
No, but
But
final on Friday and then final on Tuesday.
Jesus Christ.
How many different
um
I have a project
what do
due
you
next
think that that process maybe
Okay.
could have gone a
Yeah,
bit
and I have a
smoother?
quiz.
So instead of, when you clicked OK, I'm guessing, or what did you think happened when you initially clicked OK? Do you think that the profile was automatically saved?
Yeah, I assumed that it was, but looking closer now, I see that there's the save profile button, which I forgot to click. So
Okay.
These are fine. These are fine.
now I'm pretty sure that especially after the notification that
Huh?
my changes have been saved.
I don't know what's
Oh, I also
Okay.
noticed that I can delete my skills like with this X button as well, which is pretty
No, he
cool
told me.
too.
Okay. Would you maybe, I don't know, suggest like for the application to be
You're
more
welcome.
smooth, that once you hit OK, all the
Yeah.
changes are saved immediately instead of having to, I guess, double save or double like confirm?
Yeah, that would be nice, yeah. Because it feels like once you do make a change,
I mean, like,
this is saving it
here's what
because you see it over here as
let's
well.
say he apologizes to you.
But
Okay.
even this is like again going back to the are you sure you want to make these changes? Like I said,
I really,
if I make a change I don't want,
Here?
or
Yeah.
if I just
if it's like
want to
that,
go
then I
back
really
to
don't
how it
see what
was,
fault it is.
click away,
That's
and I'll have information.
Okay.
I'm gonna show up
I
again.
see.
Like,
Um,
I don't want things to be awkward.
and now I'm gonna ask you, do you think that the repos that were matched with in that you see right now, in your matches, do you think that they're relevant to your skills? Or what you add on your profile? Do you think that the
Yeah.
match process is done correctly?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. You could see
Okay.
like some repos that I used before, and some of the others they just
Okay. Uh, okay. And I guess for my last challenging question, let's say that if you accidentally added the wrong repo or tech stack, and let's focus right now on the wrong repo, how would you go about fixing that?
say this repo, and I go there and want to remove one of them, then I will click on the red untrack button.
Okay.
And this is asking for information, and I will click on yes, untrack, and it's gone.
Okay. And how did that feel? Was that smoother having that confirmation in this scenario?
Yeah, that was pretty smooth. If I accidentally click untrack and I don't want to actually remove it, then I can just cancel and it stays on the dashboard.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So, that wraps up the hands-on portion of the experiment. And now I want to ask you a short questionnaire. So I have 13 questions.
Sure.
The first 12, I'll read a statement and you'll rate how much you agree from a scale of 1 to 5. 1 means strongly disagree, 5 means strongly agree. Again, there are no right or wrong answers. Just go with your gut feeling and your experience. The last question is open-ended, so you can share any additional thoughts that you might have. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. I was able to successfully complete setting up my profile.
5.
Okay. Setting up my profile was easy and intuitive.
5.
I was able to find a repository that matched my profile.
5.
The repository discovery experience was easy to navigate.
5.
Okay. I was able to add a repository to my tracker without difficulty.
5.
The process of saving a repository felt clear and intuitive.
5.
Okay. I was able to create a contribution log entry successfully.
5.
The log creation process was easy to understand.
5.
I was able to edit or delete a log entry without confusion.
5.
Okay. The CRUD interactions for log entries felt straightforward.
5.
Overall, Repo Scout was effective at helping me manage open source contributions.
5.
Okay. Repo Scout was easy and intuitive to use overall.
5.
Okay. Do you now for like the more open-ended question, maybe from your interactions with the application, do you think there are any final comments or suggestions for improving Repo Scout? Let's say you were actually using this application to try to improve your skills. For example, in the tech stack that you currently have. Is there anything that could be included to make the application more targeted, better at helping your goal with improving yourself in your skills, etc.?
Some improvements, I suppose. I really like how everything looks. It's visually very pleasing. Everything is pretty intuitive. I suppose having like a confirmation to delete logs would be nice.
Sorry, what was
Especially
that?
like,
You said that
yeah,
the adding or deleting was pretty smooth.
yeah. Overall, the experience was pretty smooth.
Okay.
Just having like a confirmation to delete logs would be nice. But other than that, like I liked how everything looked, how everything felt, and it was pretty easy to use.
Uh, Is there maybe a feature that is currently not being included that you think would be important to include? If you can think of anything.
Other than the confirmation on the profile log,
Oh, sorry, can you say that one more time?
other than the confirmation on
Yeah. Yes, maybe something else that we haven't considered that might be useful for a developer.
not really. I think you've covered everything.
Okay. So overall, okay. Well, I think that concludes our overall experiment. So thank you so much. Are there
Sure.
any other questions or anything that you might have on your end?
No, thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much for participating.